Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at VITL farms. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now in the case of this chart we have, at least from a large time frame perspective, quite a simple structure that has developed and possibly already completed a larger wave 1 to the upside, where I would consider this an initial wave 1 up. We have here a wave 2 correction, a third wave up, fourth wave down, and then I would consider this a possible confirmed fifth wave to the upside. Now there are possible extensions to come within this wave 5. There is we don't really have the confirmation that we topped, but also it is quite difficult to find such a confirmation in such a diagonal structure because I do have a full count. I could count it full in more than one ways, and in general we just still need to be very careful in the case of such patterns. For the sake of simplicity, we will consider that we may have topped, we may have a full 5-wave structure complete, and we will be looking for a possible retracement here in a wave 2 correction, where we are looking to find support in the area between the $25.6 level all the way down to the $11.9 level. And as long as we hold the 78.6% retracement, we can look still for higher prices afterwards in a follow-up wave 3, or if not that, at least in something like a larger ABC pattern that could be unfolding. And in that case, we can look here in the shorter time frame. By the way, I also wanted to mention this is not guaranteed to be a 5-wave structure to the upside, since we do have an ending diagonal formed at least in this area. We do have here possibly an A wave up, a B wave down, and then I could also count this as a C wave up, so it is not guaranteed it is a 5-wave structure, but those are details that we have to live with. We do not have the most clear and certain 5-wave structure to the upside, so we have to accept the possibility that it may really be just a 3-wave move in reality, but that would really only affect the probabilities of this setup working out. But considering it is on such a large time frame, it does have quite good odds of holding support in this area and creating a follow-up structure to the upside in a 5-wave move. Now, in this area where we may consider a top in a wave 1, we do have the possibility of tracking further extensions higher. Now, they are not necessary, but I would be able to provide here a support zone for a correction in a wave B, and this is in the idea that we start the A wave from this level. Now keep in mind, other counts are possible. I could even consider this an A, B, C, making this a larger wave A, but in that case I would probably need the wave B to be developing as a triangle, and it isn't necessarily the most easy to count this as a triangle, unless I really consider this internally. Doesn't even really work out, so which is why I am really considering this as the wave 4 bottom. It does make the structure make a lot more sense, unless this would still be developing as an A, B, C to the upside, where in the wave C we would be looking at an ending diagonal with a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, but in either case we would be looking at this point at a very similar area of support where we can track still another push higher. Now in that case we would be looking for support between the $42 level all the way down to the $33 level at the 78.6% retracement. Now keep in mind, we do have at this point a full possible count here. We do have a very easily considered full count in a structure in a wave 1, and there is a pretty good chance that we may be heading for the larger area of support here in white. But even if we don't manage to push higher within this ABC structure, there still are some chances that we may find a relief rally. Now this is not something I recommend doing. I usually recommend staying away from the smaller time frame and especially fragile structures such as this. But we do also have some backup support area from structural support that has been forming over the last year. And in this case, I am looking at the levels between around the $30 level all the way down to the $28 level to at least find a relief rally if we don't manage to create at least a reaction from this area. But yeah, if we do something like a 1, 2, and then another 1, 2 here, then there is a pretty good chance we may push in a pretty strong third wave directly through such a structural support area. Yeah, no guarantee that it will hold, but oftentimes we do find some reversals in those areas, as we previously did, yeah, in the past year. And for now, there really isn't much else to add. I do see that the momentum to the downside is still increasing, so I would be extremely cautious of any long positions on this chart, and I could even consider that this may be developing as something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th as a first leading diagonal to the downside. Yeah, this could be an initial wave A down. We would then be looking for a B wave correction where we may find a pretty compelling idea for a short in this area, and then a follow-up wave C to complete the larger correction here in a wave 2. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.